Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Please consider subscribing to my channel. And today I wanted to give you my top 5 most favorite fragrances that I have had an opportunity to test during Pitti Fragranze in Florence. What is the Pitti Fragranze? Pitti Fragranze is the exhibition for niche fragrance industry. So I have tested, I don't know, around 700 fragrances, and these are top 5 that literally they blew my mind. All of them are new, all of them are from 2024. I will leave the names in the description section down below. So let's get started. So the first one is the beautiful fragrance from a new brand. This is actually a fragrance that was launched like 2 days before the exhibition, 2 days before the mid of September. So I wasn't supposed to like this fragrance because it has notes of booze in it, and I usually don't like fragrances with alcoholic notes in it, but this one has gin and it has vermouth as well, so 2 alcoholic beverages. Plus, this fragrance has ISO-E Super and ambroxan. This is a molecular note that so many people say that how beautiful is Not a Perfume from Juliet Has a Gun, how beautiful is Molecule 1, and I don't feel those fragrances. It almost feels like I'm anosmic to them. I can't feel them. I can't detect them. So in this fragrance, we have 4 of the notes that I'm not supposed to like, or I'm not supposed to smell them. But for some reason, this fragrance, it also has mandora, orange, tangerine, milk chocolate, heliotrope, caramel, vanilla, spices, and oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful gourmand fragrance. It's the smell of chocolate is such a realistic smell. It's a sweet chocolate with this zesty but sweet opening, and I can't say that I really feel a lot of booziness in it, but I do feel some of the booziness and spiciness, and this is such a warm fragrance. But it's not a warm fragrance that will keep you warm in autumn and winter. It's just this warm feeling because it has a lot of citrus in the beginning, so it's kind of also this kind of zesty and bubbly feeling. Such an unusual one, very unusual one. And the chocolate here, and strangely enough, it's called amber Negroni. It doesn't have any amber to it, but probably they intended to call it amber because of this warm feeling, and probably this is the warm feeling that comes to you when you drink some of the alcoholic beverage. So it's amazing. It's very unique. It's very interesting, unique, and amazingly opulent and beautiful, and absolutely suitable. Because some of the fragrances that have rum, that have really this boozy quality, they kind of feel boozy. You can smell the booziness. In this one, you can't really detect the booziness. It just this lush and very full and beautiful feel of this gourmand quality, chocolatey, something that rubs over you. Just beautiful fragrance. The next one is the fragrance that I loved. I loved it so much, and this is by the brand that is called Atelier de Sens, and this is called Spiros. And I love absolutely every single thing about this fragrance. It has green notes and cherry. I love cherry, and dry wood and musk and white flowers and roasted nuts and tonka bean and vanilla. This is a very gourmand scent. It is gourmand, and you can feel this roasted nuts, and oh my gosh, this roasted nuts and the cherry and this vanilla, it they just turn this fragrance into an absolute treat. It's like having a dessert without actually eating it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And also, you have this cherry that is not this kind of dark cherry, this smoked cherry. This is very light, very fresh, very maybe even a bit underripe cherry. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm like, the first time when I tried this fragrance, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece. And the more I wore this fragrance, the more I loved it, actually. So just an amazing, just an amazing fragrance. And again, I'm a lover of cherry, and my love for cherry fragrances, it didn't happen today. It didn't happen with Tom Ford cherry. It happened, I'm gonna tell you right away, it happened right somewhere around 2003, like 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And for all of this time, I loved cherry fragrances, and so I can detect a good cherry when I smell it, and this one is absolute delight of a fragrance. Next one is a fragrance that I was more than lucky. It's just, I couldn't believe that actually the brand gave me this fragrance. And this is from an Italian brand, and the fragrance is called Sa di Bacio. It's from Zeromolecole. Okay, so the brand, they didn't tell me that now we own your soul. You have to talk about us all the time. No, they just gave me the fragrance, and if I like it, I'm gonna be talking about it. If I don't, then I don't. There's no obligation. I just have to 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 tell it like it is. So why I love this fragrance? It has cherry, but the I'm not gonna say the absolute majority of cherry fragrances, but a lot of cherry fragrances, they have almost always this kind of boozy cherry, this amaretto, and this kind of booziness. And this one, it doesn't have it. So I'm gonna read the notes, and again, it has a little bit of incense, and I was like, oh, the incense, but trust me, it's just it's like chef's kiss. So it has ambroxan and almond and magnolia, and also cherry, incense, benzoin, powdery notes, tonka bean, and styrex. This is a cherry fragrance, but it's sweet, not cloying, sweet cherry fragrance with this kind of a little bit sweet balsamic undernotes. And this is such a gem. Every single time that I have it, I can't stop smelling myself. And a couple of weeks ago, a lady came to me on the street, and I was wearing this fragrance, and she told me, you know what, I was following you from the store. I exited the store, and she told me, I was following you from the store because I was following your scent. What is the fragrance that you're wearing? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was so happy because really people don't really give me a lot of compliments on my fragrances. So I was like, yeah, it's this brand, it's from Italy, and it's this and this and that, and it's absolutely amazing. So, and she was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this one. So this is an absolute gem of a fragrance. If you want a cherry, but you don't want a cherry that is boozy, go for it. Try this fragrance. And also it has this kind of this balsamic warmth, because you know what, sometimes when it comes to cherry fragrances are associated with this kind of fragrances for summer or for springtime, whereas this one, because it's so nice and so warm and so cozy, it's amazing also in the colder times. So this fourth fragrance is I'm telling you, people, I was not supposed to like it because this is a Middle Eastern fragrance, and it means that it has a lot of notes that I don't like. It has oud. I don't love oud. It has rose, obviously. It has geranium. Geranium, I'm not against geranium, but sometimes geranium and rose and oud, it can be so, so strong. It has cashmere wood, gaiac wood, sandalwood, musk, moss, amber, leather. I don't like leather. There's caramel, balsamic notes, vanilla, tropical fruits, violet and green apple, and bergamot. But for some reason, I love this one. And yesterday I wore this fragrance, and I was just saying hi to the friend, and he hugged me, and we had this kind of cheek to cheek moment, and he told me, "Oh, you smell good," and I had this one. I had this one on me, and this is Lamar. This is Lamar Noir by Kajal, and people, let me tell you, I have never had Middle Eastern fragrances. It never happens because not that I'm against them, but it's just that I don't have a place where to test them. And obviously I do have places like online where to get them, but without prior testing, I don't really go into this category because of the reasons that I have just told you, because I'm afraid of oud, I'm afraid of rose, and when this oud and the rose, and we know that the Middle Eastern fragrances, they tend to be very, very strong, usually it's something that is not really wearable for me. But this one, let me tell you, this is an amazing fragrance. It's very dark. This is a very dark and very, very warm and very dark fragrance, and it's like a Maleficent would wear this fragrance. It's not dark that in a way that it's bad. It's just dark. It gives you this kind of dark and mysterious aura, this fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And for some reason I don't feel rose, which is good. For some reason I don't really feel leather. I do feel a lot of oud though, but not this oud that kind of that I don't like. But the wood that I feel here is very pretty. So yeah, so for me this one is an absolute revelation of a fragrance. And I'm gonna finish this video with this fragrance, and this is a particularly kind of interesting for me and pleasant for me, because this is the fragrance. This is a fragrance that is called Amore, Dolce, Amaro. So this is the love, sweet, bittersweet love, and this is by KV Fragrances. And I had an opportunity to actually meet a girl behind the fragrance, and we have discovered when we were just talking that she is from my hometown. And I couldn't believe it. She's from my hometown, and I was like, oh my gosh, no way, yes. And so it's I mean, I'm so I'm so honored. And but besides that, this is just a good fragrance. Let me tell you that. So it has cherry blossom, it has marzipan, cherry, tuberose, coconut, honey, davana, sandalwood, and patchouli. So again, we have cherry. And yeah, I love cherry. I love cherry. I can't do anything. I just love cherry. And I'm for once, I'm very happy that we have been living in this cherry crazy fragrance world for like 3 to 4, even 5 years now. I'm really happy about that. So it's very beautiful. It's a truly gourmand fragrance. It is sweet, gourmand, it is loud, but at the same time it's also green. So you can smell this sweetness. You can almost taste the sweetness, but it's never cloying. It's very well balanced. I love this one. And it has such a good dose of patchouli that it kind of really mitigates this marzipan. If you can just imagine marzipan and coconut and honey. It's like a sweet bomb, right? But it's like it's very well done. It's very well balanced. You don't feel suffocated by coconut, and you don't feel overwhelmed by honey, because honey plus coconut, just these two, they might give you a headache, but they don't, because it just piece. This is a masterpiece. It's masterfully done. It's very nicely done. So I love this one. This one is so good. And also, this brand, they won an award now in Dubai roughly a month ago for the best innovative packaging for 2024. So I am thrilled, and I'm really happy for this founder of the brand, for Katerina. Yeah, so these are my top 5 fragrances, and let me tell you, I would go out and buy all of them because they are good. Even though if I have a sample and I try a fragrance and I know that I like the smell, but this fragrance has a note that I tend not to like, I tend to kind of hold my horses and think twice or 3 times before actually going out and getting the fragrance. But these fragrances, I love them from the first sniff, and I still keep loving them today. So they are my these are the fragrances that I might get myself in the future. So yeah, let me know if you know these brands, if you know these fragrances, and if you have already tested them. And in the meantime, I wish you a beautiful Wednesday and beautiful day, and we will see each other on Sunday. Bye.